Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Code Realized Guardian of Rebirth, and it has been 4 days since I have played this game. Do you believe this? Do you even believe that I have waited so long? I can't. Um, I actually wanted to finish Guardians of the Galaxy, and what chapter are we in? Oh, negotiated solution. We're in. That's right. This is Victor's chapter. I'm bringing up our guide so we know which ones to choose. But yeah, it's been 4 days since I played, and I was like, damn, because you have to put at least an hour in, and then I'm like, and I've dedicated myself to watching at least one anime episode in Japanese a day to help me learn Japanese. Not that it's going to really help, but it's just, getting my brain used to hearing Japanese, and I can pick out words now. I'm like, I know that word. Oh, that sounded like this, but it's not the same word, but I at least know like the sounds. And then I just got distracted because I started watching Danganronpa, and then the other day I'm like, I'm gonna watch Black Butler, and Jesus Christ, I'm like almost done with the first season because I watched it in like 2 days, 2 or 3 days. I'm like, I can't. The show's fucking amazing. I know I'm behind. Think a couple of years ago, I watched like an episode or two and I was like, well, this is good. But like, I wasn't like, you got to be in the right mentality to watch something and read subtitles. And me, I'm usually TV is a background. It's on in the background. I'm doing other stuff. I'm barely paying attention. And this, when you're watching anything in Japanese, you have to pay attention because you got to read the subtitles. You know what I mean? But anyway, I'm having a lot of fun with the learning Japanese stuff. So it's fun for now until I get to the kanji letters, and then I'm just going to be like, what is wrong with this language? And I'm not going to be able to handle it. But, let's see what happens in a year. A year from now. Let's see what happens. June. Well, now it's July by the time you're watching this. It's still the end of June right now when I'm recording it, but whatever. So when it gets to July of next year, let's see what happens. See if I can read and play the other game. Play our Japanese game. See if I can read it by then. That'd be great. That's my goal. We'll see. Anyway. We didn't come here for 5 minutes of this. He runs with all his strength. Through an empty wilderness. A wasteland with no living thing in sight. He runs through a charnel field of death. The dense fog sticks to his body. He flings off the gas mask he's wearing and covers his pale face with his hands. Oh, why? How could such a thing? He has escaped from a mountain of corpses. Ugh. From that massive pile of unmoving bodies. I know we read that already, but it's still disturbing. What? What have I done? Unable to remain on his feet, he crashes to his knees. What cruelty! The scene is burned into his mind. A small child reaching out for help, then dying on the spot. It was nothing less than hell. And the person responsible for that hell is none other than himself. It's all my fault. That's him crying. Sorry. I can't do that. I can't cry. I can absolutely cry, but just not on cue when I'm recording. It's embarrassing. So he feels that his mind will break, faced with a truth that he cannot accept. Crying. Okay. Sorry. I also just don't want it to come out sounding any really inappropriate or anything, because there's a fine line there. He continues to scream until the rain that begins to fall drowns out every trace of his voice. He bolts upright in his bed, his hands clenching the sweat-soaked sheets. A dream. His heart is hammering, seeming to echo loudly in the silence. He presses tightly against his chest and squeezes out a gasping statement. That's right. I can never be forgiven. Oh, our poor sweet baby Victor. Let me forgive you. A blue sky fills the window outside. Morning light lances between the clouds and caresses his face, and he turns away. It's such a nice day. It's been about a week since the vampire Delacroix II joined us at the mansion. Even so, being on a killer-be-killed basis with him, we have yet to fully warm up to each other. Naturally, it isn't easy for our hearts and minds to close this gap between us. For now, the fact that he stopped attacking innocent, unrelated people has been an adequate improvement for us. Cece, let's go get breakfast. Cece responds with enthusiasm. Of course he does, he's a dog. Later, Saint Germain has been helping us with the living expenses for the past few days. However, this is only temporary and we're all determined to find a source of income. We all have our own ideas how to overcome this financial dilemma, like spending less or finding practical work. Maybe I can start a side job at home to help everyone out. What are you good at? I have ideas about this, but because I have to wear gloves, I'm discouraged that I won't be able to do any detailed work. I touch my chest without thinking about it. The horologium, it acts as my heart and makes me a monster. Someday, will I someday be able to rid my body of the poison that flows through it? I fucking hope so, because otherwise the second game's gonna be a cock block. I'm just saying. Monster! I can still vividly remember the words. Malice. Hatred. Hostility and fear. I was attacked in the past by words that cut as sharp as knives, by emotions that penetrated as deeply as any bullet. Cece barks, and I return to the present. Like a dog, I was having a flashback. He's looking up into my face as if concerned about me. He's like, hey, snap back, bad place. No, I'm fine. Let's go, Cece. He barks heartily at this, making me smile despite how I feel at the moment. Today's victuals have been as delicious as always, Impey. Well, that's great to hear, but with only preserved foods, the selection becomes really limited. Oh, are you unsatisfied with these results? The meals of late are far from boring, as far as I'm concerned. It's a matter of principle. As a genius chef, I want to be able to provide a good variety of dishes. Since when have you been a genius chef? If I recall correctly, I thought you were a genius engineer. Squinty McSquinterson, stabby bastard. I love him so much. I really enjoy the meals you make for us, Impey. I know it's Impy. I know it's Impy now, but I can't say it that way because I've been reading it wrong the whole time. And also, Impy just sounds... You should have known it was Impy, but I just figured there was more flair because, you know, I always say things wrong, so of course I guessed wrong this time. Whatever. Thanks. Thanks, but only amateurs wait for the audience to get tired before changing. A first-class chef must always be creative. I see. What do you think, Van Helsing? I just needed to see your pretty face. I've missed you. I look over at him and see that he hasn't touched much of his meal. Van Helsing, aren't you hungry? Don't mind me. You haven't been eating much lately. Have you tired of the taste already? Does my cooking bore you? No, it's all delicious. Flavors are so delicate that I still find it hard to believe that you were the cook. Is that a compliment or an insult? A compliment, obviously. Isn't the greatest praise? It's the greatest praise I have to offer. Your appetite seems to have decreased since Delacroix came to the mansion. Are you worried about him? He looks away without another word. Oh, he's worried about a vampire who's going to stab him. Wait, oh, that's so cute. Oh, Van Helsing. You seem so angry, but you're so soft on the inside and squishy. Spacey can't play these games. She's going criminally. I'm like literally going fucking insane. I have literally lost my goddamn mind. I can't help but clamp my mouth shut. I can't jump into whatever issues are between Van Helsing and Delacroix. Was it a mistake to invite the young vampire to our home without thinking about it? He hasn't appeared for breakfast again. I am worried about his condition. He seems to be eating. The plates I take up to his room are always cleaned off. I'm planning to take this morning's meal to his room again. I see. That's good to know. Does it make you feel better, Van Helsing? What? I didn't say anything. The problems with Delacroix aside... Victor, you've... Oh, that's Impey, not me. Victor, you've been awfully quiet. You look so serious, too. Do you have a stomachache or something? What? Who? Me? No, nothing's wrong. You do seem down, Victor. Really? Sorry if I seem that way. I don't feel sick or anything like that. Victor smiles while he says this, but he still seems to be a little out of it. It also seems Lupin has been running around to a number of different places recently. I haven't seen him lately. We haven't had the opportunity for us all to gather at the dining table together. Now that he mentions it, everyone has been busy with their own things, or has some sort of reason to be by themselves. I think the last time we were all present for a meal was before we started chasing Delacroix. I got it! Chef Impey shall lay out a great feast tonight! Why? Why, to raise the energy level around here. Stuffing yourself with good food makes anyone happy. Oh my god, it's Thanksgiving! Seasons has come to... Code realize. Because seasons came to The Sims. Look. I'm like a week ahead, okay? By the time you see this, seasons has been out for almost a week. Yeah. This is going up on, like, what? This is probably Saturday? This, I think, is... Hey, happy 1st of July. I think this is the episode that goes up on the 1st of July. It's obviously only the 22nd of June, so... I'm a little behind. I'm usually, like, 2 weeks ahead on this one. I'm a little bit behind. Just because, you know, these... Now we're going hour-long part. Anyway. A feast. That may actually be a good idea. Cooking, eh? Sounds like a perfect way to blow off steam. Impey, let me cook, too. Sure, that's fine, but are you sure you can make anything that turns out to be edible? Who do you think I am? I know what I'm doing. Leave it to me. I see. I know she told me, but you really do love to cook, huh? I wouldn't have expected that of you at all. I'm looking forward to trying out dishes from both of you. Impey's sudden suggestion has cleared up the gloomy air surrounding the dining table, and a peaceful atmosphere comes in. And then we'll have Deli join us, and we'll all have a party. Impey mentions an unfamiliar name. Who's Deli? Oh, Delacroix. I got sick of saying his full name all the time, so I figured Deli works. Deli. I try it out. It is much easier to say than calling him Delacroix II all the time. It is much easier to say. Duh. It's the cutest revelation. Oh my god, that is easier. Yeah, duh. You're cute. I love this game. Deli. I think that's a nice nickname that suits his adorable appearance. It's another matter entirely whether he likes this potential sobriquet or not. Yes, if Deli says it's okay, I think I'll start calling him that. Hell, even if he says it's not. Impey, you said you could create a feast earlier. Do you have the ingredients to complete a task like that? We are still in a poor financial state. If we don't have the money to spend, we won't be able to make a satisfying meal. These are tough times. You can stop worrying about money. Ah! That's Bando number 1. Well, tied for number 1 with Van Helsing, but still, in this path, that's it. Anyway, we turn around at this sudden comment. Thank God, Lupin's back! Oh, we missed you so much. We're all gonna, like, wrap ourselves around him and give him big hugs, because we love him. Oh, hello, Lupin! Oh, sweet Jesus, baby, I missed you. I really should not be recording this right now. Like, I'm not drunk, I swear, but this game makes me goofy. Hey, guys. What's wrong with you all? You look like hell. Where have you been? Nobody's seen you for the past few days. We've all been worried. I had some things to deal with. Apologies for not telling you in advance, but here are the funds for our future activities. That sounds like a lot of money. Lupin turns a heavy-looking bag over the table, and a mountain of bills falls out. Sounds like, what? $126,482 and maybe about 14 cents? That's money. I just know money. I'm just kidding. Lupin, where did you get all this? A few million, maybe? I don't know. Oh my, that certainly is a heap of money. Just a bit of my handling fee. All this is for my handling fee? The hell were you handling? Actually, I think you pay. Whose balls were you handling? I don't really have a good grasp of money yet, but is this much enough to solve our troubles? Our troubles are long gone. With this much money, we can even buy ourselves an airship. An airship? I have no idea how much one of those would cost, but if Impey is this excited about it, they're probably very valuable. Then our money problems are over. Seems that way. I see. That's great news. But, Lupin, this money, did you come by it honestly? Of course, mademoiselle. I swear on my name, Arsène Lupin. He smiles at me while he says this. Of course, it's fucking Lupin, Jesus Christ. He's a gentleman thief, remember? He doesn't do it for his own gain. And I didn't earn this money so we could spend it on lavish things. Let's plan our expenditures more carefully from now on. I'm not going to reprimand you, no matter where the money came from, but you must have faced quite an opponent to get this. Something like that. Quite an evildoer indeed, who was quite loaded. An evildoer? What sort of evil was he doing? Are you sure he won't come after us later? I wouldn't make a mistake against a small fry like that. Also, I have to make a formal report to someone about what I did. Does anyone have an idea where I think Deli's in his room. I just came from there and he wasn't in. Damn, where could he be? Deli. Impey came up with that nickname. Oh, I like it. It suits the little kid like him. Well, if he's not here, I guess I'll go look for it. I'd already finished my own meal long before, so I stand and thank Impey for cooking it. As I'm clearing my plate, Saint Germain calls out to me. Oh, that's right. Miss Spacey, are you free this afternoon? Today? I have time. Then would you accompany me shopping? I'd like to gather some good ingredients for our meal tonight. You need to leave the mansion once a day in any case. How about it? Helping him shop. That sounds like something I can do. All right, I'll come with you. Just don't get stabby with me. Just saying. I make plans for later with Saint Germain, then Lupin and I split up to search for Deli. He waits for me. Okay, what are we gonna do? We're gonna split up. All right, sounds good. Glad you waited for me. So we could go together, but not. I knock on the door to the boy's room. There's no response. As Lupin said, he's not in his room. He doesn't seem to have returned either. The door isn't locked, but Saint Germain told me that it's rude to enter people's rooms without permission. While I was going through training, the Count taught me how to act like a proper lady while we walked around London. Going in without permission would be bad, so don't go in. I need to put his teachings in action. I nod to myself and get ready to leave. Get ready to leave. Maybe I should leave the food here. Perhaps Deli will come back while we're looking elsewhere. I decide to leave his breakfast by the door. Perfect. Just drag this table over, put the lamp on the floor, put the thing. I gently place the tray next to the door so that it won't spill and head off. I wonder where he went. Saint Germain's mansion is very big. Even if we're in the same building, it's difficult to find someone here. Perhaps he's wandering aimlessly through the halls like I used to. I hope his breakfast doesn't get cold. Impey made such a delicious meal, so it would be best if he could eat it hot. As I'm thinking this, Hey, stop it! I hear Deli's voice. I go over to a nearby window. I said stop! It tickles! It tickles! Cece is playing with Deli. Don't lick my face so much! You! He looks like he's having fun. I'm not having fun with the dog! Yes, you are. You fucking love it. I look away and sigh softly. I'm glad. Deli's able to laugh. I don't know how, but somehow this makes me feel like things will turn out all right. And suddenly, I remember the time I laughed and how everyone had paid attention to me for it. Maybe they all felt like I do now. I keep this thought in mind and head over to the garden, filled with a strange joy. Fine, very well. You may serve under me. Isn't it an honor? No, if you have potential obeying me without resistance like this, I shall give you the highest seat in my army of darkness. That's so fucking adorable. Oh, that's so cute. You're playing with a puppy and he's going to be your army of darkness. You're like, it's just fucking cute. Army of darkness? He jumps back at the sound of my voice and takes a fighting stance. But this is pretty much how talking to him always goes, so it doesn't faze me anymore. What do you want? I see you and Cece have become friends. It's none of your business. But this fellow's name is Spacey? Yes, Impey named him. Impey? Oh, the red-headed man who appears to have the lowest intellect of the bunch. Shame to think that named you. Impey is actually pretty impressive, but so many people underestimate him. By the way, why does Spacey have a mechanical leg? It's because someone hurt him before Impey found him. Impey built him that leg so he could walk normally. Deli looks sadly at Spacey. Oh, you should hear Spacey whining. Aw. They would go so low as to harm a life that poses no threat to them. Humans are indeed a garbage race. Kinda true. But humans have given Spacey a new home and are taking care of him now. I think that there are many different kinds of people. Not all of them are bad. And? What have you come here for? I didn't want you to get hungry, so I brought breakfast to your room. But you weren't in, so... Breakfast. I see. All right. Yes. Oh, yes. He was laughing so easily earlier, but his voice stiffens when talking with us. There's nothing I can do about it, but it makes me angry somehow. Oh, there you are. I've been looking for you. Lupin appears, breaking the silence. I have a souvenir for you. Souvenir? You weren't holding anything. Oh, excuse me. Lupin takes a large square of cloth from a pocket and lays it out on the ground. He slowly pinches it, then lifts it up. He's like doing a fucking magic trick. He's a goddamn magician. Spacey needs to drink while she plays this game. Might be better. And now there's a small suitcase sitting where the cloth had been. What? You're some kind of wizard. Unfortunately, I'm just a gentleman thief. This was a trick. Deli looks at him, his eyes wide as Lupin opens the suitcase. Pay attention to what's inside. You'll be surprised. What is this about? Deli turns his attention to the suitcase, sounding offended by Lupin's attitude. Inside the suitcase is... Those are the treasures of the vampires that I was supposed to take back. The case is filled with beautiful pieces of artwork and gems, all packed in next to one another. You had them all this time? Give them back! They belong to my people! Yes, I know. I stole all of these for you. Stole? Lupin shrugs and pushes the suitcase toward the boy. Deli accepts it and looks back at Lupin, seemingly in shock. I never steal for myself. I do it for others. I just found where your treasures were kept and picked them up. I looked into it, and the people who owned these items were all making dirty money. It felt good to steal from them. What is the meaning of this? I have no way to repay you for these. Even as he says this, he pushes the suitcase behind him with one foot, as if it truly is important to him. He's like walking away with it, like, I have no way to pay you, and he goes running. Don't worry, I'm not going to take them back. I've already been paid handsomely by the folks I stole these from. I love his logic. It's so fucking backwards. You stole that. It doesn't belong to you. I'm going to steal it back, and I'm also going to take money from you as a handling fee for returning this item back to the person it belongs to. And that's totally acceptable. Whatever, Lupin. I love you so much. It's great. Oh, the handling fee you mentioned. Exactly. I just tripled my charges. How do you like it, Sir Delacroix? This is how a real thief gets things done. Lupin spins once, then gives the boy a graceful bow. Of fucking course he does, because he is the gayest fucking person in this game. I love him so much. He's so flamboyant. Spins around, spins and bows. And then magically he's gone in a poof of smoke. He's like a motherfucking gay magician. I love him so goddamn much. Oh my god. Oh my god, Lupin. Oh, you're so goddamn pretty and magnificent. It's great. I am so glad we decided to read this whole thing again. All these things they just mean so much more to me reading them at the end than they did in the beginning. Like, I'm sure in the beginning they were great, but now they just mean so much more, and I just warm my heart. Anyway, I'm not going to thank you. I should be thanking you. Going after these artifacts allowed me to earn a huge amount of money in a way I view ethical. In a way that I view as ethical. Sure, I see. So it's Deli who's to thank for getting you to take action. Hold on. You can't possibly be calling me Deli, can you? I will not be referred to by such a ridiculous name. Delacroix II is a mouthful. It's not making fun of you. It's a step toward true friendship. What do you say? You don't like it? Of course not. Suddenly, Deli's stomach rumbles. Oh, I left some breakfast by the door to your room if you want it. I don't need breakfast. Deli starts running back to the mansion, then turns back to us. I will not thank you. I'm not indebted to you at all. Lupin shrugs as we watch Deli run off. Lupin, thank you. Huh? Well, there's no reason you should be thanking me. What's this about? I'm just speaking on Deli's behalf. Lupin smiles and walks back to the mansion. I turn to Spacey, who is laying down quietly. Spacey, do you want to go see Deli with me? Spacey wags his tail and looks at me. I'm happy you've made a new friend. Spacey barks energetically. He's like, I hate everyone else in this fucking place, but you two are cool. Vegetables, meat, and seasoning. We got the mechanical part Imbe asked for, as well as the chemical Victor wanted. Whew, it looks like we finally have everything we need. As promised, the Count and I went into town that afternoon. Are you sure you can carry all of that? I can take some of those. This is nothing. You're already carrying something for me. Well, yes, but I'm holding only a small paper bag with 2 apples inside. The Count is holding 5 large bags filled with meats and produce in each arm. It must be heavy. Yeah, well, he's like fucking god something, so. Really, I'll take some. No need. It's a matter of etiquette for a lady to allow a man to have his moment of glory. I nod reluctantly at Saint Germain's picture-perfect smile. I wonder how much weight he's carrying in each arm. It must take an immense amount of strength. I look at my own 2 hands. I wonder if I'd be able to handle that. Yeah, it's fine. Especially if you get the recyclable bag, or the reusable bags. You just put a bunch of shit on that, fling them over your shoulder, you can carry a motherfucking truck ton up to your. It's just nice. It's so much nice. Well, I'm just saying. Van Helsing did say that I was unbelievably fast and hardy during our training. Count, I'd really like to try. As I'm turning to him to say this, I see a boy selling papers to people around him. Extra, extra, read all about it! The boy steps in front of us and holds up one of the papers he's hawking. I wonder if something big has happened. I'm curious, so I look at the paper. The headline makes me gasp the moment I see it clearly. Violent terrorist Victor Frankenstein attempts bombing passenger train? Military technology advisor Finnis stops would-be attack in its tracks. May have been target of assassination attempt. I see that the government has stepped up their search efforts in the hunt for Dr. Frankenstein. Victor would never try to destroy a train with people on board. He did disconnect the cars, but this seems over the top. We need to come up with some countermeasures. We need to head back and tell the others. You're right. We've finished up our shopping here. Shall we be headed back? Heading back, sorry. Saint Germain smiles his usual smile and begins walking in the opposite direction of the mansion. Count, what's the matter? You're going the wrong way, because he's going to get stabby. No, I'm just kidding. We're being followed. What? There are 3 of them. It seems they're highly trained. Twilight, no doubt. Twilight is here? Yes, but try not to give away that we've noticed them. Let's let them follow us for a bit and grow complacent. Come, Miss Spacey, let's go. Oh, right. The Count begins walking, and I hurry to catch up. We have a rare opportunity for some hands-on training here. Let's make sure not to let it go to waste. You want to train me? Now? Indeed. From this point on, the danger that you'll encounter can only grow. Yeah, especially because half of it's probably going to be coming from you there, Stabby. That's his nickname now, Stabby. He's still pretty, but Stabby. In order to increase your survival rate in situations such as these, a training session that is just a touch too dangerous fits the bill perfectly. I nod, trying to keep my pace even with his. But don't fret. At the very least, I will be sure to protect you should anything happen here. Now, how should you act in this situation? What should I do? We are supposed to run into a back alley. Let's get off the main street. I take Saint Germain's hand and lead him into a nearby alleyway. Thanks to you, I know the layout of the streets around here. Let's get as far away from them as we can. I see. That's not a bad idea. He smiles effortlessly, following along as I run at full speed. Is there another way? This is definitely one method. But there's a good possibility that we may have caught them off guard if we had acted as if we were unaware of them. That's an ambiguous strategy. There is never any certainty when it comes to dealing with people. For example, there is the possibility that they intentionally let us become aware of them in order to lure us here. What? As if waiting to prove him right, several figures appear from around the corner. A group of men wearing bizarre masks stands in front of us. It's Twilight. I know, that's horrifying to me too. Somebody says, look what I brought, it's Twilight. Ah, no! Several of the men take cautious stances. There's no room to run in the narrow alley. It's all I can think of every time they say Twilight. It's like, no, it's scary. Just as Lupin and Van Helsing taught me, I quickly check my surroundings. Saint Germain, I can buy us some time in this restricted space. I have a small smoke bomb in my pocket. Victor had given it to me just in case something happened. I close my hand around it as I continue. I'll distract them. Can you get past them and get help from the others? Oh, so you're telling me to desert you and flee? Their objective is to capture me, but they might kill you. I appreciate your concern, but don't worry. These men are incapable of killing me. What? Well, now we know, but seemed odd before. Without holding a single weapon, Saint Germain steps in front of me. The Twilight soldiers hold up their swords threateningly. Count, watch out! It's true, he hasn't stabbed Finnis yet. The instant I shout this, a large wooden box slams into one of the soldiers from the side. He careens into another soldier, and they both go down. The Twilight troops respond quickly. The other soldiers spin around and disappear into the darkness of the alley. The fallen soldiers are up in an instant and follow the rest. Retreat if an encounter introduces an unknown element. It seems their fear of being caught and possibly disclosing information is greater than their desire to capture us. But what just happened? Herlock. A new figure appears from around the corner as if waiting for a cue. I can't really honestly remember, but that's just what I'm guessing. Ah! Long time no see, my lady. I'm glad you aren't hurt. I can't remember the voice I give him. We gotta do a better voice for him when we get the second game. You! Oh, do you know one another? Not really. He's the mystery man who got in the way of our plan to capture Finnis. Lupin had a really tough time with him. You speak of me as if I'm a villain. Here in this situation, I should be seen as the hero who saved you. Thank you, I guess? I see. How funny that we encounter you here again. It's as if you'd been following us to begin with. I'll leave that to your imagination. But why did you save us? You were trying to stop us before. It's a detective's job to prevent crime, is what I'd like to say. But I'm actually off duty right now. It wasn't work that motivated me to act. If I may also add, does a gentleman need a reason to come to a lady's rescue? Oh, look at you hitting on me. Honey. Next game. Yes, you and me. Can be part of the man harem. You're cute. I see. He continues speaking without hesitation. Herlock Sholmes suddenly stops to take a breath, then faces us. Now, as this gentleman is no doubt already aware, it's no coincidence that I'm here. I was following both you and those who left us just now. I see. So you were following Twilight, who was following us. We had two tails. Indeed. There are many things I'd like to ask those Twilight folks. But first, you two. Sholmes makes a gesture to indicate that he is thinking. Within the past few days, a number of treasures said to have been owned by vampires were stolen, along with a fortune. The items were stolen using brilliant techniques. This was the work of your friend Lupin, wasn't it? My eyes dart about at this unexpected question. If someone like Sholmes finds out it was Lupin's doing, then he's going to be caught. No, but Sholmes is really fucking smart, so that's why I figured it out. I take a few deep breaths. I calm myself down so that I can keep a cool demeanor while we speak. And then, I haven't the faintest idea what you're talking about. My words tumble out awkwardly. You're a poor liar. Your genuine nature is one of the best things about you, but I must eventually teach you how to conceal your thoughts. Please do. While our conversation remains light, Saint Germain gently moves in front of me, as if to protect me. And now that you know this fact, what are you going to do with us? I don't intend to do anything. This was simply to confirm facts. I would have been fine if you denied it. But this young lady here, now that I think on it, I was never properly introduced. Since we've been happily reunited, it would please me to know your name. Spacey. Since I have no reason to turn him down, I simply state my name. He tweaks his mouth as if chewing on something, then nods, seemingly satisfied. I've committed your name to memory. Thank you, Spacey. Like he's a fucking robot. I love it. Back to what we have been talking about. If the culprit of those thefts is one of your friends, for now, you're not my enemy. As I said earlier, I'm off duty right now. Just an average citizen enjoying his day off. You say for now, which means there may be the possibility that you will become our enemy in the future. Yes, we'll be enemies starting tomorrow morning, to be exact. I've received requests to assist Scotland Yard as well as one from the military. It seems the British government is sparing no expense in attempting to capture the violent criminal Victor Frankenstein. There is permission to kill him on the spot if it becomes necessary. No! Twilight and the military have quite similar tactics. Whose request are you going to accept? I will always stand by the law, even if the law is unjust. That is how we maintain order in society. That is dumb! Lupin's idea of ethics is, like, way better than this. I'm just saying. Like, at least he's got something. You're like, hey, even if the law is douchey, I stand by it. Yeah, no. No, that's kind of, no. Although I have yet to find out their true intentions, I will gladly cooperate with them if it means the law is upheld. Oh, that's Saint Germain. I was like, it's me. I'm thinking it's me. Your philosophy on justice is the polar opposite of Lupin's. Arsène Lupin, a gentleman thief who adheres to his own definition of justice. If we allow his methods to continue and the masses emulate his ways, I believe it will leave us with chaos. Lupin wouldn't do something like that. I wonder. Whatever the result, a crime is a crime. Either way, I just wanted to give you a warning. A warning? Yes, if I'm forced to seriously come after you, I will uncover your location and your schemes in no time flat. I suggest that you leave Britain as soon as you can. I see. There may actually be another option. Saint Germain glances over at me and relaxes. But I'll refrain from that one. You did save our lives. Oh, he was going to get stabby with it. It's awesome. I will take your warning to heart. Sholmes nods. Then, if you'll excuse me, the next time we meet, it will be as enemies. Don't take it personally. With this, Sholmes leaves us. He is such a character. What an unexpected encounter. Yes. Yep, we got that one right, Count. I continue to look in the direction he left in. I wonder why. Even though they look nothing alike, I feel like Sholmes and Lupin have something in common. Yeah, they both crazy. Hey, Saint Germain, do you think that Sholmes and Lupin are alike? Those two? Let me think. Both feel an immense responsibility for their actions and have unwavering confidence in themselves. Perhaps this stance is the common ground between them. You're right. They share that extreme self-confidence. I nod in agreement with his accurate point. Though that may be, it's probably best not to mention any similarities to Lupin. Why not? When you escaped that train, it seemed that the detective Sholmes was toying with Lupin quite a bit. Toying. Sholmes, not Lupin. Yes, he was quite upset about it. They barely managed to escape with Impey's help, but he was angry that the whole ordeal caused a delay in your rescue. He toyed with Lupin. That Scholes person must be very skilled. It certainly looks like he would be a tricky one to handle. It does seem like our complications have been taken care of. Shall we go? I nod in response, but Saint Germain begins walking in a completely different direction than back to the mansion. Saint Germain, are we being followed again? I run to catch up to him and lower my voice to ask when he stops and laughs. That's not it. Don't you remember why we came out here in the first place? Oh, shopping. The Count smiles and nods at my response. Because we had to buy everything all over again, the sun had already set by the time we make it back to the mansion. Then we report what had happened to us. When the topic turns to Scholes, Lupin's expression becomes one of pure disdain. So, that pesky trickster's joining the opposition. That's troublesome. Still, he's no match against me. Still, troublesome. No, it's really no big deal. It isn't, but he's really getting involved, huh? Your bride seems to be having a very public battle with your actual feelings. He must have had a really tough time during that abduction mission. That's what happens when you fight using methods that lack any depth. Consider it a lesson learned. Shut up! I got away, so I won. You were about to be caught when I got to you. You were all, Imbe, save me already! Not true! I was merely acting hysterical to confuse the enemy. I was planning my miraculous escape from there. I think it's only natural that the escaper is at a greater advantage when trying to flee a small space like a train. His pride as a gentleman thief won't let him get over it. After we finish reporting most of what happened, the biggest problem remaining is Victor's wanted notice. What should we do? Would it be best if we just shut ourselves in the mansion? If we do that, they'll eventually detect our location and surround us. True, this location will be easily found if both the military and the Yard are looking for us, on top of Twilight. Then, should we escape London and set up a hideout somewhere else? Well, that's not a bad idea, but it's going to interfere with our search for information on Isaac. There's nowhere else as good. What? And there's nothing we can do? No, there's one way. Victor looks up at us all, and everyone's eyes are on him. Listen carefully, Spacey. I think Twilight and Finis are searching for you independently of the others. I don't think the British government is involved in that search for you either. Good point. If the government was looking for her, then they probably would have expanded their forces in the first place. Wait a second there. Wasn't it the Queen's guards who were trying to kidnap her in the first place? I believe that Finis used his position to use them for his own purposes. Think about it. Even though they failed to capture her, the government hasn't launched any sort of investigation. Oh. That means that the only one who the government is after is me. Victor says this with a great deal of force behind his words. Saint Germain's voice hardens a little, as if he senses that something is off. Victor, are you considering turning yourself in? Turning himself in? Is Victor willing to sacrifice himself to divert the government's attention away from us? Even though we're fugitives at this point, I don't want to think about handing him over so easily. That would be saving ourselves at your expense. I don't like that. Impey agrees with my initial negative reaction. I wouldn't be able to sleep with that on my conscience. I'm against it too. In response to our protest, Victor smiles grimly and waves his hand. No, that's not it. I can't let myself be captured just yet. There's still something I need to do. And what is that? It's not really relevant right now. The point is, I feel that I have a way to negotiate with the government to get them to stop chasing us. Negotiate with the government? That's a pretty outlandish idea. So if I decide to move forward with your negotiation idea, who would we speak to? Reckless words won't get you any help. Victor slowly shakes his head at Van Helsing's challenge. It's fine. I'm not saying this out of desperation. I know we have a good chance. He quietly sighs, then turns to us with determination. I'm going to get Victoria on our side. Victoria? You don't mean Queen Victoria? Yes, that's exactly who I mean. As I mentioned before, Queen Victoria wants to capture me. She wants certain knowledge that I have. But her greatest fear is that this knowledge will be leaked to other countries. If what I know gets out, the current international situation could be overturned and place Britain in a difficult situation. International situation, huh? That's quite a large stage you speak of. So, you're thinking of approaching Queen Victoria using this knowledge as a bargaining chip? Yes. In exchange for not spreading my secrets to other countries, I'll ask her to guarantee our safety and freedom. I'll expose to her that Twilight is after us as well, and have her restrict Finis's actions so that we're not targeted. That way, we can resolve all the problems surrounding us at once. And what is this knowledge? I can't tell you. I wonder why. I thought I saw a dark shadow cross Victor's face when this was brought up. No matter. If you're that confident, then you probably stand a good chance of success. If you get results, I have no complaints about the methods involved. Of course you don't, because you're crazy. But Victor, this isn't something that can be done easily, right? There must be a reason why you've been running all this time without doing this. You're very perceptive. You're right, Spacey. It was something I'd been considering, but Queen Victoria is the highest ranking politician. If she doesn't agree, I'll probably be locked up in some research lab, never to see the light of day again. That's why I escaped. Are you sure? You're going to have the most dangerous role if you're trying to use yourself as a negotiation piece. That's fine. I don't want to cause trouble for all of you. I can see a strong light in Victor's gentle eyes behind his glasses. Victoria and Finis, we're up against the most powerful people in the country. If we miss this opportunity, we'll be swallowed up by their power in the blink of an eye. The more time passes, the tighter the noose Twilight, the military, and the police is creating will be. Before they catch us, we have to make the first move. That naturally puts all of you in a dangerous position as well. I know it's a lot to ask, but I need your help. We all look at one another and then... Why not? I'm in. We need a breakthrough either way, and if you say you're ready to take this on, I have no objections. Then I'm in too. It would be totally lame if we get caught and didn't even put up a fight before being thrown in prison. You don't even need to ask me. Life as a refugee was getting pretty cramped. I was becoming bored with it. If we have a means to free ourselves of this situation, we should go for it, no matter what. Then I shall cooperate as well, though I don't think there is much I can do. I'm fine if that's what Victor wants. Thank you, everyone. I promise I will repay you all for this kindness. We love you, Victor. We're a family. Big, happy, spacey man harem family. Victor says this with his usual smile. But, for some reason, it looks to me like his smile is forced. Yeah, because he thinks he's gonna die. The next night, I sit alone at my desk, writing. I'm reviewing emergency first aid methods and gun construction plans Victor and Van Helsing taught me, respectively. If I can... I like how we said it respectively. Yeah, I mean, I got the logic behind that, but, you know. If I can remember my first aid properly, I can avoid any confusion in the heat of the moment. And knowing a gun's construction can lead to knowing how to handle an opponent who's carrying a gun. None of this knowledge is for direct application, but knowing it will help me make calm decisions when the time comes. That's what I've been told, anyway. I wonder how long it's been. I stretch a little and open the window to let the night breeze in. Then... Victor! Sorry, head again. I see Victor out in the yard. Whatever he's thinking, he's just sitting silently, unmoving. I consider what to do for a while, then decide to join him in the yard. There is something I want to tell him. I love you, Victor. Oh, wait, no, wrong path. And when I arrive, Victor still doesn't show any indication that he'll move. I try waiting for a little while, but nothing changes, so I decide to speak up. Aren't you going to sleep, Victor? Whoa! It seems he didn't notice me walk up so close to him. He almost drops his book in surprise. Oh, sorry, I didn't think I'd scare you so much. Uh, sorry about that. I was just thinking about something and didn't realize you were there. What are you doing here? Did you come to feel the night breeze? I was studying in my room when I saw you out here. You were studying this late? It's good that you're enthusiastic about learning, but don't overwork yourself. All right, but it's fun to review all the things that everyone's taught me, and it's very beneficial as well. I see. You're a hard worker. I need to be the same way. Thank you. Huh? For what? For thinking about everyone. If your suggestion works out, it'll guarantee safety for all of us. Then it'll be easier to find something about Father. It's nothing. I'm just thinking about my own safety. Even so, it's still going to save us all as a result. That's why I wanted to thank you. Thank you, Victor. Oh, my precious Victor, I just want to pet his little face. You shouldn't be thanking me. I'm a horrible person. I don't understand why he would say this, or what's so horrible about him. I think you're a very respectable person. Victor looks so incredibly sad that I want to make him smile somehow. You're very kind and considerate and smart and courageous. I respect you so much. That's so kind of you to say. I never thought that someone would say that about me. Victor smiles his usual smile, but it seems like an act, and more fragile than ever. All right, let's call it a night. Staying up late isn't good for us. That's a lie. I mean, yeah, not if you got to get up in like an hour, but I mean, like if you're going to sleep till noon, it's perfect. All right, let's go. Let's go to bed together, Victor. I mean, what? I'm worried about Victor, but it's probably not my place to step in any further than I already have. I turn around to see Victor still sitting in the same spot. Victor, aren't you going back to your room? Oh, right. I just thought maybe I'll sit here and think for a little while longer. Would it be all right if I sat next to you? Why? Just because. Just because. Victor laughs, and this time his smile is very natural. The next day... All right, everyone. There's no time like the present. I scraped together all the information I could to create our plan. Lupin is speaking to us as we gather around the dining table for breakfast. The dark circles under his eyes are probably due to that hard work. So, as to how we will accomplish the goal of getting Victor to negotiate with Queen Victoria... I've got nothing. No, I'm just kidding. For starters, the biggest problem is probably finding a way to meet her. Could we send her a letter? It would be safe. That would likely be difficult. If we can't trust the messenger, it's doubtful that the letter will reach her. Right. It probably wouldn't be effective. When you set out to blackmail someone, you need to make it clear you have power. We need a method that'll make them think that we won't go down easy. We have to make ourselves look strong, even if it's fake. Make ourselves look strong? How exactly do we go about doing that? Stop being vague and give us an example. In short, we're going to raid Buckingham Palace and confront Her Majesty the Queen in person. Raid? What are you, crazy? You're gonna turn the entire country against us! Wait, Impe, knowing Lupin, there is a chance of success here, isn't there? Lupin smiles confidently and spreads a large blueprint across the table. Of course. This is the layout of Buckingham Palace. It's the center of the administration and royal family's personal residence. Queen Victoria usually stays within the heavily guarded palace, so we'd never be able to reach her directly. In a sense, she's tougher to get to than Finis. However, there will be an opportunity coming up when Victoria makes a public appearance for a knighting ceremony. What is that exactly? It's something of a governmental event. Bestowing knighthood is normally conducted within the palace. However, it has become customary for the Queen's ceremony to take place outside to allow the public to see the glory. Obviously, there will be copious amounts of security, and since the public can attend, there will be a grand turnout. Oh, and also, it was at this event that Van Helsing was given the greatest title a knight can receive, the Most Excellent Order. Wow, you really are amazing, Van Helsing. Yeah, you are. I wish I could see the knighting ceremony. I want to see that. I want a game where they do like the past and we just see all their stories and we could see his knighting ceremony, all that we just get to watch. I just want to watch it. I know they tell us all their stories, but I just want to watch it. So, we burst into the ceremony, then make them promise in front of everyone there that they won't lay a finger on Victor. Isn't it dangerous to do something like this in front of so many people? And that's what makes it so great. We'll make a showy entrance to create the illusion that Victor has powerful backers. The other benefit is that we can use all the civilians there as hostages. Lupin? We can't do that! That would make us actual terrorists if we involved innocent people. Yes, I think it's too dangerous. All part of the plan. We're laying it all out for the Queen to make it easier for her to make that decision. What do you mean? This is what he means. If the Queen were to obey the commands of a terrorist, her authority would crumble. But if she makes a painful decision in order to save her people, her rule will become even more solidified. You're an awfully considerate, even of your blackmailee. The title of gentleman thief shines brighter than usual today. Of course. I'm starting to think I don't fully understand what a gentleman is anymore. Well, that's good, Spacey. That's a normal reaction. Yet, she may say she'll release Victor in that moment, only to take back her words later. Shouldn't we be considering the possible risks we might be facing? A battle of wills against Queen Victoria is no small thing. I can't imagine that she would fall for this ploy so easily. Leave that to me. In true Lupin form, I'll call her bluff. Lupin nods firmly in response to Victor's words. The knighting ceremony takes place in exactly 5 days. Why don't we begin our preparations? After that, we start to prepare for the negotiation to come. There's no way we can finish this chapter in an hour because there's at least another 10 minutes left of it. But I thought it was going to be good, but I thought we were going to be able to do it. But it's okay. We use an automobile to carry the ornithopter into an alley near a certain hotel in the city. This is so we can land right in front of Queen Victoria as she appears at the beginning of the ceremony. So see, we still have to go through the whole hotel thing. And then there's a new scene because we have a new option to stay at the hotel. So with Lupin, so there's going to be a whole couple of new scenes that we never saw, or a bit of a scene. So it's going to be longer than it normally was. So anyway. Aside from that, we double-checked and procured items to protect ourselves, as well as secured our escape route. But since the plan is merely to get us in front of Queen Victoria, there were no complicated contraptions like on the train. On the day of the mission, we planned to go to the hotel that we've placed the ornithopter behind. You want me to house sit? How dare you? Why would I? From Deli's response, it seems he's not very willing to cooperate. However, he begrudgingly agrees to stay at the mansion, since he doesn't know of any other place he could go to kill time. Well, I guess it's acceptable, but I do not understand why I should have to take care of Spacey. Normally, I wouldn't bother attending to the needs of an animal, but I'll do it for him. He does look rather pleased about caring for Spacey, though. All right. We're all ready. I had the option of staying as well, but everyone agreed that my skills would be of good use during the mission. I know it's important to stay alert and keep my defenses up, but more than that, I'm so happy to hear everyone say that they needed my help. The day of the mission. I know we're not quite at it. We're barely at an hour. But I am actually going to stop because we're going to get into too much stuff. Plus, oh my God, my throat is so dry. I really need something to drink right now. So this is the perfect place to stop. And we will come back and we will finish the mission in the next part. So I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.